Are you in your 30s, feeling stuck? You're watching everyone else move forward with their lives, getting married, having kids, climbing that corporate ladder, buying a house or even houses, and you're just there left behind. You want to make a change, even start over, but the fear and uncertainty is holding you back. I've been there. I was actually there 6 months ago. But what if I told you that starting over at 30 is just not just normal, but the perfect time to do it? In this video, I'm gonna share my personal journey of starting over at 31 and sharing my advices and insights that help me overcome the fear of not knowing where to start, what to do, where to go, and help me finally take that first step I was thinking about for a long time. I'm 31, and I was facing this exact same question just 6 months ago when I quit my last job at a startup. When I quit this February, I had no plan, and the stability I had was gone. And I found myself asking, what should I do? Is it too late to start over? In search for answers, I decided to take a 3-month trip to Africa, 15,000 kilometers away from home, which is Japan, to give myself some space and time to really reflect on what I want in my life. Through deep reflection and lots of reading, lots of YouTube videos like this one, and lots of self-work, I came to realize that this stage of life isn't something to fear. Rather, it's an opportunity. What surprised me was, even before coming to this realization, some of my friends and coworkers told me that they envy my position. Someone with no job and no plan. They saw value in the position I was in, where I could hit pause long enough on my life, something they never had a chance to experience. That's when it hit me. This moment of uncertainty, although very uncomfortable, it's a rare opportunity to reshape your life on your own terms. The truth is, no one has it figured out. Not the YouTube star, not the Mr. CEO, not your elite friend, no one. And that's okay. I'm still in the process of figuring things out, but I've taken those crucial first steps. The first steps that taking me out of my comfort zone, taking me out of I don't know what to do, so I'm not doing anything phase. And I know I'm not the only one going through this. I've talked to friends, I've watched countless of YouTube videos, and I know that this feeling is incredibly common among the people in their 30s. That's why I feel like it's important to have this conversation and share what's helped me in the hopes of it might help you too. Tip number 1 is to know it's okay to feel like you don't have everything figured out. That is totally and absolutely normal. Did you know that many of the successful entrepreneurs actually didn't start their journey until later in life? So if you're unsure and not clear about what you want to spend your life on, you're in good company. For example, Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC, finger looking good, opened his first franchise of KFC when he was 62. Sam Walton, founder of Walmart, only opened his first store when he was 44. Momofuku Endo, the inventor of cup noodles, which you probably have had as a midnight snack, he only made his first packaged instant noodles when he was 48. A celebrated Japanese author, Haruki Murakami, also shares an interesting perspective on this topic. He's known for his surreal storytelling and exploration of existential themes. He advocates this theory, what he calls a 30-year-old adulthood theory. Basically saying that there aren't many people who know what they want to dedicate their life to when they graduate university, around age of 22, 23. So he basically encourages everyone to try different things, explore the world, in whatever way you want to. And only after you have those experiences under your belt, when you turn around 30, is then you can only clearly decide on the direction of your life. A 30-year-old, you're finally an adult, right? The common thread here is that it's okay to start late and to treat the process as an experiment. Whether you're 30 or 60, you don't need to have everything figured out from the beginning. Think of each pursuit as an experiment. You don't have to commit for life, right? You try it out, you test the waters. If you like it, fantastic. Keep doing it more. If you don't, no worries, just move on to the next thing. See if you like that one. And not expecting perfection from the get-go is also very much key. I struggle with this personally, coming from a consulting background. What we created, basically the PowerPoint presentation and Excel spreadsheets, these had to be spotless and perfect. That's what we charge premium for. But life isn't about getting everything perfect. Feeling like a beginner, trying new things, learning new things, making mistakes along the way, that's all part of the process, right? And that's what makes it fun too. If I had everything figured out, no problem, no question, no uncertainty from the beginning on everything I do, I would find that pretty boring, to be honest. So try something new, make mistakes, and enjoy that, right? Everyone who's good at something today was a beginner at some point. Once you let go of the pressure to have it all figured out, the next important thing is to really understand who you are and what truly drives you. Number 2, one of the most important steps in starting over or embarking on any new adventure is truly knowing yourself. This means knowing your strengths, weaknesses, values, and what drives you. When you're starting over, you're gonna have to make decisions where there's no right or wrong. You're also gonna hear people around you tell you stuff like what to do, what not to do, and sometimes discouraging messages too. Knowing yourself gives you the clarity and confidence that will help you move forward with your own vision and will. So if you make any decisions deliberately based on your own thoughts and feelings, whatever the outcome may be, even if it might be unsuccessful, it's much less likelihood that you're going to regret that decision. So start by asking the tough questions of what do you truly want, or what do you not want in your life? What drives you? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you not? So if you start asking those questions and you have those answers, then you'll be able to move forward with purpose and authenticity, being true to yourself. Tip number 3, embrace the change. Life expectancy is projected to reach 100 years when our generation, people in our 30s, are older. So we're still at the beginning of our lives. Think back 5-10 years ago and think about how much has changed. For me, 10 years ago, I was studying in the United States, in Pittsburgh, cramming for my exams for my information system management degree, not knowing what I would do, but I thought I would be settled down when I'm 30. Married, have kids, have a good career. Never thought I would be here in a situation where I had no job and no plan. The only thing you can be sure of that nothing is going to stay the same. There's a Japanese word for this, shogyo mujo, that comes from the Buddhist mindset that it basically means exactly the same thing. Nothing's going to stay the same. So expect that and think of any changes as a positive thing. If you have nothing, set in stone for you right now, that means anything a possibility. Go explore the world. You can go start a new career. You can go look for the love of your life in a different country. You can do whatever you want. When changing life around, Kenichi Omae, who's a very famous Japanese consultant who was one of the first members of McKinsey & Company Japan office, says there's only 3 things you can do. 1 is change where you live. 2 is change who you spend time with. And 3, change how you spend your time. And he also says that the most useless thing to do is to have a new resolution. I'm gonna do this. Like, just having that new promise to yourself doesn't really do anything unless you change one of those three things. So keep that in mind when you're trying to do something new. Don't just try to say, I'm gonna do this, but try to change who you spend time with, how you spend your time, and where you spend your time. Remember, change is inevitable, but time is constant. Which brings me to the next point. You're the youngest you'll ever be, so take action today. It's such a cliche phrase, but it holds a powerful truth. No matter where you are in your life, you today will be the youngest and most energetic version of yourself you'll ever be. In 5 years' time, you're gonna look back and be like, oh, I wish I started this like 5 years ago. And I wonder where I'll be. Yeah, it could be like starting a new instrument, starting a new business or YouTube. So it could be like working out and getting fit. And you're gonna think back and like, 5 years, like I would be like so far along in that journey. Well, here we are today, 5 years ago from 5 years time. So why not start today? Here's like this pottery class story. So there's one group of students and another group of students. Those two groups are told separate instructions. One is told to make something of their own every day for the next 30 days. Like they gotta make something, like cup, glass, whatever. And another group is told to just make only one thing only, but try to make it as best as they can and submit that at the end of the 30th day. Those two groups, kind of followed the instruction. One group made something every day. Another group spent 30 days to perfect their one thing. And it turns out pretty much everyone in this group who made something new every day had a better output. It was much cleaner, much nicer. And that tells you a lesson that spending so much time on perfecting something is not going to lead you to perfection. You just got to keep doing it. And that's how you get better, right? There's no other way to get better at something. So even if it's a shit quality, like just go for it, start doing it. I started surfing at the age of 27, 8. And a number of times I wished I started earlier. It's crazy. I see kids starting at, like when they're 5 or like 10, and those kids are like so good. And when they're adult, obviously they're so good. I wish my parents taught me like how to surf and all that so that I can enjoy more, but I only started at like 27, 8, and that's a pretty late start for surfing. But since then, I really spend a lot of time going to the beach, hitting the ocean pretty much every week for the last 3 years, except for like, really cold winter time here in Japan. Actually, I've traveled to warmer climate places during winter to surf too, but I kept going like every week during the weekends, sometimes weekdays too, for 3 years. And now I can say, I surf. It's my hobby. I'm still, getting better, but I'm so much better than where I was like 3 years ago. And I already surfed all over Japan. I surfed in South Africa, Madagascar, Indonesia, Philippines. And it's such an incredible experience to go through that whole process and like getting better. And I'm glad I started it, even though I was like super late in starting it. So whatever you want to do, like go start and take that first step, when you're young or the youngest. Starting over is never easy. It's stressful, it's scary, it's embarrassing. It makes you feel like you're behind in life. The beauty lies in the limitless opportunities and the exciting journey that you could take on, which everyone else in your life around you may not have a chance to follow or even consider. You won't have everything figured out at the beginning. The first try is gonna suck, it could be risky, and you won't know where it's gonna take you. And that's okay. Take that risk, embrace the change, and follow your passion. You're the youngest you'll ever be today, so no better time to start than today, huh? Remember, you're the main character in your own life story. So write a story that excites you and inspires you. 6 months ago, I had absolutely nothing figured out. I walked out of my last startup job on a cold, windy February day, feeling like there's a blank piece of paper right in front of me. I didn't know where I want to live, what I want to do, how I want to spend my time, what dream I want to follow. It was all unknown. So I made a bold decision, and I took a 3-month trip to Africa to step away from everything I'm familiar with and deeply reflect on who I am. And that trip changed my life. During those months, I went through many self-reflection exercises, caught up with old friends, made new friends, explored new places, and I really immersed myself in different cultures and languages, 15,000 kilometers away from home. And it was a refreshing, eye-opening experience. But it was also scary because I was, burning through my savings. Seeing my bank account shrink every day was definitely terrifying. Opening up about my situation to, friends was scary and embarrassing too. Some of my friends were very supportive of starting over, like being on this new journey. But some of my friends were also very shocked of what I'm doing. It's such a risky thing. They could never think that they could do. Some probably thought it was a reckless thing to do too. So I had to sort of live with that uncomfortability too. And but still, that trip and the time I spent reflecting on myself was transformative. Now, here I am starting my own consulting business, starting my YouTube channel, and still exploring different business ideas that I could pursue. And I'm excited what's come. Okay, that's a wrap. I hope that you find any of these pieces of information helpful. This is what I actually went through, in my thought process of my 3-month journey in Africa to really trying to figure out what I wanted to do next. I'm gonna go over some information about what I learned in my past experience in consulting and my startup, and all the productivity hacks I use. And also, I'm gonna share my new journey on this YouTube channel as well as my new business journey. So if you're interested in any of those new things, make sure to hit subscribe and like this video. All right, see you again.